Hello, Paul again here from EMD Motorsport at Caringbah. Got this Audi Q7 that we're working on last week with the actual coolant leak. So pretty much everything is on now on this vehicle, and before we assembled the whole intake system and all the wiring and all that on top, first thing we do is do a vacuum evacuation vacuum bleed. So what it does is sucks all the air out of the system out, and then we're gonna open the valve there and force the air in, so to prevent any airlock when you start the car, prevent a lot of prevent overheating, and much quicker to actually get everything done, run properly. At the same time, it's a good system to have, because if there's a leak in the system at the moment, this vacuum gauge will never hold vacuum. It will just go back to here, so it's holding vacuum right there. And if you look at the actual hoses, they are squeezed. See that one there? The hose there is squeezed, meaning the air is being sucked out of the system. The radiator hose, see that one there? It's flat. And pretty much brand new, all the parts from Audi. So you see here VAG, brand new EGR cooler, brand new oil cooler, brand new thermostat housing, brand new oil filter housing, brand new what do you call the solenoid, vacuum solenoid actuator there at the bottom, brand new little pipe in the corner there. See that one there with the yellow marks on it? That's a brand new pipe. That pipe was actually broken in half. So this is all the actual parts that we changed. That's the old EGR cooler. That's the old vacuum. They call it vacuum. I call it vacuum actuator. This one here opens and closes. This one here as well. That was that's the old oil filter housing, thermostat housing, oil cooler. And one little thing I changed yesterday when I took everything apart. I didn't see it until I took it apart. So this is a coolant line that goes from bank 1 to bank 2, and if you can see it, it's already leaking there. So we didn't want to take any chances. Do it while everything is already out, otherwise you're gonna regret it later on. So we got new ones from brand. That was the only extra one that the extra one that I had to get. That wasn't on the quote, so I just got it anyway. Otherwise it's gonna leak. That's the little pipe I was talking about. It's already half cracked, leaking a lot of coolant. Go back here. So now we're going to double check everything now. So we put all this back together. It's a lot of work to get it done, but you got to do it properly, and you got to have patience to do this kind of work. And cleaning is very important as well. You can't just rip everything apart and don't clean it. So cleaning it to get all the other stuff inside, anything broken or anything that's not the actual surface must be clean, so nothing will, otherwise it's not going to seal properly. So now we're going to actually put the new we're going to disconnect that plug and put the pipe for the actual high pressure pump there. And after that we're going to start the assembly. So now we're going to open it up and then force the coolant, open it up. So now we're forcing the coolant into the system, and you can watch the actual pipe that squeeze it's going to grow up, keep growing back to normal shape. Same as this side here. As you can hear the actual the coolant going into the actual coolant bottle. I'm probably going to order one of these today from Audi. This one here looks like it's going to crack. That's the actual coolant cap. See here? Looks like it's going to crack. It's just old, so I don't want that to happen. So the bottle looks fine, but we're going to get probably an extra cap today. But we're going to use that now to actually run the car, but later on I'll order one so I can actually double check it. That's how you can mix it. Otherwise, this is a common problem as well. They always crack and then leak out of the bottle on the side there. So yep, it's looking good. So after we put this on, we're going to get the pressure tester, connect the pressure tester to here, and then we're going to pressure test the whole system. This is a vacuum filler refill system, but when we finish the vacuum refill, the system will be full of coolant. As you can see, the hose coming back to the actual normal shape, not squashed anymore, same as that one there. But we're going to use the pressure tester to pressure test it for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to make sure it's holding pressure and make sure there's no coolant whatsoever leaking inside from the assembly work that we've done. Okay. So gonna leave for about 10 minutes, make sure it's all filled up properly, and then we'll do the pressure testing. Okay, thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Again from EMD Motorsport. As you can see, we just finished the vacuum refilling of the system. Now we have the actual pressure tester on the actual bottle. What it does, it just puts pressure on top of the coolant. So if there's a leak anywhere that on the cooling system, that gauge there will just go straight down to 0. So at the moment it's holding pressure. Before we started the work, I couldn't even get a pressure on here. We'll just like up and then straight down. After like 30 seconds, 1 minute, that will go to 0. But the gauge is holding at 20 psi. There's no leak. So what we're doing now, we're just double checking our work while this gauge is on. At the same time, we try to listen for any hissing noise, for any kind of a coolant leak or anything to do with the actual cooling system. We have to make sure it's 100% not leaking before we actually install all the other parts that we took off. For the intake system, the fuel system, the wiring harness, glow plugs, and all that stuff. At the moment it's looking really good. Really happy with that reading there. So I'm going to usually wait about 10 minutes to make sure that is holding pressure for the, I mean they do drop down because there's a little bit of leak there because of our tool, but they don't drop down straight away. They drop down after maybe 2-3 hours. But at the moment it's holding really good, and there's no hissing noise in the cooling system, and there's no coolant marks or coolant running down here. We're going to degrease the engine later on, do a big degrease and degrease everything down, wash it before we hand it over to the customer. Okay, at the moment water pump looks good, everything looks good. Alright, thanks for watching. Okay, Paul again here, EMD Motorsport, Audi Q7 with the coolant leak. We're done. Pretty much everything's all assembled. The car's been running for maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes now, to make sure there's no leak. So we have to actually run the car, so we usually run it at about 2000 RPM for about half an hour to 45 minutes, and then double check the work again, make sure everything is good. So what we're doing now, we look at the coolant level. Coolant level is still on pretty much above the minimum, so it's on maximum mark. So the maximum mark on this side here. So there's no leaks. There's no leak anywhere in the car. And then we'll go back inside the vehicle. Temperature. Coolant temp. Looking good, 90 degrees. And oil temp getting close to 90 degrees. So we're actually basically double checking everything before we actually put everything back together. And we'll wash underneath the vehicle. But the funny thing, it says actually inspection, service due, so I'm not sure if the customer wants that done. The main thing is the coolant leak, we have to fix that. So basically everything is actually done. Looking good. Okay, so back here, this is the parts that we replaced on that Porsche, Audi Q7, sorry. New cooler, that's the old one. EGR cooler, thermostat housing here, a valve. The part that was leaking, that's the one there, this one here, oil filter housing, that's the one that's already cracked in half, and the new cross hose, this is the one that wasn't quoted, but I saw it leaking already, so I just changed it, see how the leak's already leaked, cracked on the plastic thing, it's already leaking already, so I just went ahead and ordered one, otherwise it'd be harder to change it later on, because the car was already apart. That's pretty much it. So next step is double take the actual air filter off and then double check it tomorrow, and then make sure everything's fine. Then go for
Hello, Paul again here with EMD Motorsport. Just want to show you guys, this car's been running for maybe 1.5 hours now. I took it for a road test, about half an hour road test. I came, sorry, 15 minutes road test, just to make sure everything's running properly. No engine light coming on and no overheating happening at the same time from the engine. So if you're looking at that, the engine is running at 90 degrees. The actual oil temperature is probably about 94 degrees. So it's running normal. Everything's normal. Nothing is overheating. There's no warning light coming on, and there's no fault codes coming up on the actual engine. Showing, see, I've just done a full diagnostic scan. There's no fault codes, nothing at all. Tomorrow I've got to actually top up the coolant. Usually when you do a massive job like this, you get the engine really hot, let it run for about 1.5 to 2 hours in a workshop or outside, depending on the car. If it's got diesel motor, then you got to run it outside because of the actual smell from the actual diesel combustion is very high. But yeah, so we run it for 1.5 to 2 hours to make sure there's no overheating. Get the whole engine really hot. At the same time, we have to actually check for any codes that's locked in the actual engine electronics. So nothing is coming up here. That means everything's fine. Revving it now. We cleaned the whole intake manifold. It's really dirty, properly as well. So it's really the response will be different on this vehicle when the customer pick it up. But the reason why we run it, to get it really hot, so that way the thermostat opens and all the fans come on, and that way the actual electronics work properly. And if something go wrong, we can actually find out by actually scanning it. And at the same time, in the morning tomorrow, when the engine is hot, the coolant level will always drop, because when you do a big job, the coolant level will always drop maybe by 200 or 400 mil, 300 mil, 400 mil. So tomorrow I'll do right now it's on minimum. There's no need to top it up. So tomorrow I'm going to check it again, and then we'll have a look at the actual level where it is tomorrow. So we'll top it up to max, go for road test, and then we'll come back and double check it again, and then probably give the customer a ring to come pick up the vehicle. Okay, thanks for watching. Paul again here. I just want to check the oil level on this vehicle here, and that's the oil level. Mind you, we didn't do a service on this car. We just fixed the coolant leak, but the oil level is pretty much below minimum and max. So let's check the service history, see what services the car needs. Let's go back to service interval. Service interval is due. Inspection, oil change has been due for 100 kilometers, so it's over. Inspection has been due for 2,600 kilometers, so that needs to be done. So oil, it's a it's a intermediate service, if you ask me. It's due. So check the oil level again. So go back and oil level. There's the oil level. So it needs a service, this vehicle. Not sure if the customer wants it done, but that needs a service to complete the whole job properly. But the coolant leak is fixed. At the moment, the coolant leak is fixed. Okay, let's go and have a look at the car again. As I said before, even though the car is fixed, we still remove the cover off, and we always double check our work again. So we're gonna double check it. So there's no coolant leak there, nothing there, nothing from the back. We're gonna double check everything. We're gonna double check the fuel lines that we took off, because this is high pressure system. Just gonna double check everything as we go, and then from there, even though I know it's good, but we're still gonna check it again and everything else that we touched. We need to double check our work. It's very important. Okay, then we're gonna give it a nice wash down, and after we wash it down, we're gonna actually put the intake, assemble the intake and put everything back together. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.